networking is combination. You can't just have networking, virtual networking without live networking, and you can't do live networking without virtual networking. So you have to find a way to balance the two. And that's what we're going to discuss today. So one way, sometimes you can connect virtually, then, let's say you meet someone on LinkedIn and then you want to have a live conversation, or you meet at an event and then you follow up via LinkedIn. So there's different ways to do it. So, but this is just the start of a relationship that will go on for a while. Oh, Andrea Schultz raised your hand.
No, I was just trying to get my happy face off the
Okay.
screen. Sorry.
It's okay. So, like I said before, the key to networking and branding is consistency. So if you're consistently doing good work, everyone will know you as being consistent. If you consistently solve problems in IT, people will know you as someone that solves IT problems. So make sure that your brands demonstrate the consistency through your character and competence. So any questions so far before we go to the next part? Okay, I guess we're going to the next part. In this section, we're going to do building your digital brand. So here, we're going to teach you how to build your digital brand as a problem solver. So with digital branding, what your goal is, there's lots of different social media platforms. I mean, no matter what you do, you're going to have a digital brand. Whenever you're on the internet, if you have a Facebook page, you have a digital brand. If you do any social media, you have a digital brand. And when someone meets you, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to look you up on the internet and look at your digital brand. And based on what they see, they're going to come up with some sort of brand. They're going to brand you a certain way. So what you want to do is shape the way that people see you. So the goal is, if you want to be seen as something, as someone who solves lots of IT problems, well, then you need to work backwards and figure out, I want to be seen as that, and I want my internet footprint to look like I do that. So what you'll do is, the best social media platform for showcasing your professional brand, of course, is LinkedIn. And we'll go through LinkedIn as well. So here's the deal. LinkedIn. People ask, what's the difference between LinkedIn and a resume? I've had lots of questions about that. So how many of you have LinkedIn pages? Okay, someone is yes, someone's not yet. Okay. So most of you do not. Have you ever been on the LinkedIn site? Okay. So yeah, so the goal here is to develop your LinkedIn page. So LinkedIn is actually really great because you can show the person that you want to be on LinkedIn, and you can be more, versus a resume. A resume is more backwards looking, or basically you discuss what you've done and your track record. LinkedIn is more dynamic and it's more forward looking, where you can show the person that you want to be, and brand yourself that way. So the best way to do that is to showcase yourself as a problem solver. And then the other thing is that you can build this awesome community to help you do that throughout your career on LinkedIn, because you meet people with like minds, people who think, people who are interested in similar stuff that you have. So because a lot of you do not have LinkedIn pages, I can see we may have to run this a little bit differently. So what I will say is here, like, what you can do, okay? So for LinkedIn, what I would do is, I'm going to go on LinkedIn right now with you and show you some pages and show you some examples. How does that sound? Rather than me telling you, it might be easier to show you.
Sounds
Good?
great.
Okay, awesome. Okay. So we are on LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn page. Does anyone have a LinkedIn page that they don't mind showing?
Dara, we're not seeing your LinkedIn page if you have,
Oh, oops.
to share your different screen.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do a new share.
Yeah.
Here we go. Do you guys see it now?
Yep, got it now.
Okay, great. Okay, so my LinkedIn, let me show you my LinkedIn page. I know that a lot of you don't, a lot of you don't have, like I've got years and years and years of experience. So this might be a little bit, this might be overwhelming, but really it's all about what you do with it, right? So what we have here on the LinkedIn page, right? It has many sections. If you can see this, it has lots and lots and lots of sections. And each section really helps reinforce the other. So what we have here, so everything like your resume, if you've been to my resume session, it's like everything impacts everything on the bottom. So everything on the top supports what's on the bottom. So the first thing, so there's different parts of it. There's the LinkedIn banner here, which is really great real estate. There's your pic, there's your picture, there's your name, there's your tagline, right? It has some stuff about providing services, things that, you look to do. There's also the about, featured, some activity, experience, education, volunteer, skills and endorsements, and recommendations and interests. So each one actually reinforces the other. So if you see here, my goal is success. So this is what I do. So being on the precipice and being excited because you solved the problem. So this is my banner right here. This is why I chose this one. And this is my picture here. So the picture should be something professional. I have some resources as well. I'm going to send out the presentation as well, which will have lots of resources that will help. You have your name here and then your tagline. Your tagline should be the problem that you're looking to solve. The thing is that like you say, oftentimes I see people say student at this, but think more broadly, think about what you want to help people with. Because in the end, when people look for you, when recruiters look for you, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to look for like keywords and taglines, and a lot of these come in here. So who here, let's say, okay, let's say if I want to look for people, right? And I want to say, tell me a job, something that you're interested in doing. Cybersecurity and web development. Okay. So let's say, what's it like? Let's say there's a position web developer, right? Right? All results. So when someone's looking for a web developer, right? What they'll do is they'll look in people. Look at this. So they say web developer. Here, see the first thing that here, people is web developer. What I do, if someone's a developer, you want to have that, or aspiring web developer or something like that. People can find you for web development. they say web developer at this, but maybe web developer who, this one here has more stuff. Web developer, SharePoint, DC plus, maybe talk about different things that, some specifics that people oftentimes look for, because when we're looking for people, they're looking for keywords. So that's something that you'd want to do with your with your tagline. Or if it's cybersecurity, okay. Cybersecurity analyst, right? Cybersecurity analyst. See, when people look for cybersecurity analysts, this is what they do. They'll look for it here. That's why that's super, super important. Ooh, game developer. That is a good question. Okay, let's see. See, look. Okay, this one is a game developer. So, yeah. So this person here, this is great. We know he's a college graduate, this guy, James, from his picture. And this is what he says about, so this is what he talks about here. So he talks about him a little bit. That's the other thing. With resumes, you don't really talk about first person. Here you can. So what you have here is, okay, I'm a recent graduate from University of Maryland with a bachelor's degree in mathematics and a focus in physics. I'm greatly interested in career. So he's interested in careers in game development. And it's so interesting because he's looking for a position, which is awesome. But you look for game developer, and then the first thing you see is him. So that's what he wants to be, and that's how people will find him. So he says all this stuff. He's a writer, he's an athlete, he's a reader, he loves video games. Yes, Christian.
So here in that about section, should we reinforce the problem solver or the problem solver kind of identity that we want to portray, or
Yes.
should we he kind of gets in there, talks about what he's done and things of that sort, but we should reinforce about problem solving.
Yes.
Okay.
So I know that you're great. Like here it says he's greatly interested in this, but the thing is that first we got to his website because we're looking for game developer, we got to him, and now we're reading his about. His about would be a lot stronger. You're right. If it did talk about problem solvings, if it talked about, I'm interested in careers in game development and esports. If he said, I did this and this, or I'm interested in like solving problems in the game, I understand this in the game development industry, but he hasn't done that. So that would be a way to one up him. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So let me go back.
I had a
Actually,
quick question about,
yes.
so under the tagline then, should the about support what you would normally put under your tagline? Like you said, you solve problems for people who do blah, blah, blah. So should your about kind of then say, here's what I do to do those things?
You can. I mean, I like the helping people do stuff because it makes, it makes it more about them and not me and how I can help them. So I do it this way, helping individuals and organizations. I like that, but I would say, yeah, I mean, like you could say helping companies develop games,
Yeah, but I guess the question is, so in your about section, then do you then
Yeah.
say, here's how I would do that? So you kind
Yes.
of break out, here's the skills that I bring to the table, because saying helping is really broad.
Yes, exactly. I mean, like if you look at mine, right? Like mine is, founder and CEO, helping individuals and organizations surpass their competition, experience,
Yeah, and then you kind of go into your KSAs.
yeah,
sort of.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So really it's about what you can do for, it's about what you can do for
Mhm.
others.
Okay, great. Thank you.
That's what it's about. So yeah, so that's basically what that's about. And then, sorry, I'm going to go to, let's see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is what that is about there. So then you talk about you talk about what you do, maybe why, how you got into it, or why you want to solve these problems. But make sure that the first part of it, make sure that because make sure that the first couple of lines, make sure this that this is front loaded with everything you want people to see, because oftentimes people will not open this. People will not open this because there's always like see more. Oftentimes people don't see more. So you want to make sure that they do. Okay. So after that, right? There is activity, there's featured, right? I have this featured thing right here because I'm a business. It basically sums up what I do as well, and activity, things that I've posted. Like for me, I do a lot of stuff about workplaces, making sure that people find the right fit. So what I do is I'll post stuff about that. So my posts, if you look at all my activity, if you see all of my activity here, right? I'll support certain people, my colleagues. I'll support a bunch of colleagues, some things that I've done, supporting colleagues. Different things about colleagues. But I also have articles as well, things that I've written about. Here, mentor versus sponsor, how to create a strategic plan, a lot of that stuff as well. So you can see lots of things that I've done here, and it shows that I'm authentically, like, this is my passion about helping people find jobs, helping people build professionally. And then you have the experience part, which is about what you do, why you do it. And then I have here, like, I launched a company with 100+ individuals and partners, my work with the Northern Virginia Hispanic Chamber. I advise president and CEO and, providing innovative revenue building and organization strengthening resources. I've been a global co-chair. I've revamped lots of resumes. So it has like my experience. And then what it also has is things that I've done. So like things that I've done, like let's say for like a bunch of businesses or for whatever, sorry. I have here something that I've done here, which was the result of my work. This is a project that was done with, a while ago that, that basically like I redesigned this thing. I redesigned this project a while ago. So I put it on here so people can learn more about it. Oops, it's not what I want. And then you also can show more experiences as well. So other things I've done. So it has a lot of my experiences here, but oftentimes like I usually keep it short because life is long and people want to see your most recent stuff. And then what I have here is education. So this is pretty easy to do. I volunteer experience here. So things that I've done before. So this is really great because it's also other experience. So this kind of reinforces what I do for the community, and it all reinforces each other. So basically all of this experience here reinforces what's up here and what's up here and what's up here. So, which is pretty easy. So what you would do, like what I would do is remember the resume. If you've been to the resume class, talk about in here, like in the experience how exactly you helped the company benefit, how you solved problems for that company. So that's a good way to do it. Yes, sorry. Someone entered the room. Okay. So the other thing is the other things are things that are subtle. So skills and endorsements. This is where you get credibility. Skills, endorsements, and recommendations. It's like the things that are, how do I say this? This is what other people say about you. This is what gives you street cred, because if other people are saying it, people are more likely to believe it, right? So what you would do is um, you would be endorsed by other people for various skills, like for various skills. So if, let's say, one of your skills is IT consulting, you would put on there like IT consultant. If your skill is game developing, that would be a skill you would have here. And you would add the skill and you would focus on the top skills you want people to see. So you're able to do that. And then recommendations, you can get recommendations. So recommendations are fantastic because that shows, like, it's testimonials that give you more street cred, that show like, not only do you do this. Yes. Okay. So you had a question I saw. Okay. Show you how to do that. Like, it basically shows you, like, this basically showed the relationship um between the two of you guys, and then the interests are like things that you follow that show that, like, this is what's coming into your post, and this is what other people see, this is what you see, so where you're learning from and where you're getting your information. So it shows who you're following, and you know which is great. So altogether, this is a great digital brand to create. um okay, makes sense. I don't go past the first page. Can you what do you mean by that? Makes sense. I don't go past the first page of a Google search result. Oh, you meant for, okay, I understand. So you meant for that, um, that you want to be in the top of, let's say, for game development, you want to be on the top. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So people don't read. So you have to make sure, you've got to make sure to have the language in a way that, or have your um, format in a way that they understand it, your target audience understands it. So let's say, if, I don't know, who here, okay. So the other thing about LinkedIn is that it's not just about what you have on LinkedIn, it's about how you can help others. So it's one thing to have a page. The page is a great foundation for you because you know who you are and you show people who you are. I mean, just on the page, but to really dynamically show people who you are is the best way. There's a couple ways to do that. There is to participate in communities. So it's like being a big fish in a small community. So one of the things that I like to do are hashtags, right? Does anyone, is there a subject that somebody's interested in learning more about or wants to have discussions with people about? Linux. Okay. So what's interesting here is hashtags here are really, really great because you can see who's posting about Linux, right? So you have here, let's see, you have here, let's see, there's Linux jobs, Linux companies, more posts. And yeah, so they have here, so you have here, so there's posts for Linux, right? So let's see all post results for Linux, and you could see what people are talking about. So let's see, this guy here. Helping job seekers, okay. So this guy is, okay, this one may not be the best one, but he was supposed to post. Let me just go back here for a second. Okay, so this guy here is all about Linux here. And then this one right here, if we go to this guy here, look at this. I'm currently updating my vendor list. Please mention your, like, so basically this is just things in, like, various posts and discussions. So you have here, this person here posted, this is in Spanish, but you have a community of people that are doing lots of really cool stuff. Or here, look at this one, Linux. We have an opening for Linux. This is in Bangalore, but there's an opening here. There's lots, there's openings for engineers. This one here. This one's doing a poll about Linux. So it's really cool. So you can learn a lot about what people are talking about with Linux, see what's going on. Does anyone have another one that they want to see? Okay, Unreal Engine. Look at that. There's actually a community here. See, there's all these articles, and you can actually post stuff in this. And other people who know this hashtag, will see this and they'll also start posting too. So it's pretty cool. So you can be part of these communities. So, which is pretty awesome. So you can follow this and then it'll come up in your profile and you'll just, you can follow these hashtags. And then there's also groups that you can also find as well. So if we do Unreal Engine, there's an Unreal Engine user group. Here, there's Unreal Engine 4, Unreal Engine resources. So it's pretty cool. So there's lots of really, really cool stuff to see on here. Yeah, so you can meet a lot of people this way and you can comment saying, wow, I really like this. And then you can start building a relationship. So this is a great way to learn about the industry and meet people. And if you build a relationship, you can actually meet people. The other thing that's also really great is you can also look for recruiters, so people to build relationships with. So let's say there's Linux recruiter. Look, there's a staffing company that does Linux recruiting. But you can also see, you could see who here does, recruits for, look at this, connecting open source enthusiasts here. So this guy is a recruiter. So you can find out, does anyone have a company that they're interested in applying to? How about Micron? Micron recruiter. I usually do recruit, right? So if you're looking for, let's say, Micron technology, right? Let's say Micron technology. There we go. Micron technology. That's what I meant. Okay, so look, so you have all these different recruiters, and if you're interested at working at Micron, and you can talk, you could connect with one of these recruiters and talk to them about working at Micron or some open positions that you see. And all you have to do is just message them and connect with them and just be like, hey, I'm interested. I'm a student here. I have the skill set. I saw this position. Can we talk about it? Which is awesome. Anyone have questions about this? No? Okay. Is there something that you guys would like to learn more about on LinkedIn?
Dara,
Yes.
I throw out the idea of on this page where you're thinking about there's a recruiter there that you want to talk to, that whole idea of what do I even say? How do you sort of formalize the question? What might be a good conversation starter or sort of that intro way to think about, I don't know this person, a cold call, I don't want to bother them. How do I even start the conversation? Is there some little way that you can think about that to sort of like to just break that ice?
Sure, yeah. So let's say Samantha Schrum, right? As a connection, right? So you would say this. You can add a note. If you connect, recruiters will always connect because they're always looking for good people. You could say, "Hi, Samantha. Um, I am well, how about those who do not have max number of experience or a freshman and starting their career?" So you probably wouldn't talk to recruiters. You'd probably go to career services and find connections there to talk to. But if you're looking for a job, I would talk to the recruiters. Basically, maybe you could say, "I saw X position and I would like to learn more about it. I saw that you were hiring. Company is hiring for X position and would like to learn more about it. I would love to connect to learn more. What is your availability? I would love to connect to learn more." And then you would say that and you would send it. That's what I would do. So really it's about learning more. And for those that do not have the max number of experience or a freshman starting their career, what I would do, yes, start making connections early. So what I would do is if um, I would, this would be more in person. So I would use the career counseling resources to do that. What I would do also is maybe, what is a position? Let's say what I would do is I would actually look for, I would actually search for, let's say, Nova Community College. Yeah, so I would do it this way. I would do Nova Community College. And then let's say Micron. Find out who's there. So here, there's a Micron intern here who went to Nova Community College. You could always reach out to this person because as an alum, I mean, as an alum here, you can totally talk to them about it and be like, "Hey, I'm interested in doing this. Tell me about how you did it." So that is one way I would think about doing that and talk about that as well, because you can use your experience and just talk to him about like how he was able to bolster his experience to get, to have an intern job, like an intern position at Micron. So you would say for him, you would maybe message them and say, whoops, it's not what I wanted. So for Adolfo, I would connect. And I would message him. And say, "Hey, Adolfo, I'm a Nova grad. I saw that you're working at Micron. I would love to learn more. Can we, like, I'd love to learn more about Micron. Would it be possible to schedule a call um, or meet for coffee?" And then that's where we go to the next step, which is meetings in the virtual world. Sorry, meetings in the live world.